Hey, and today, for the first time in a couple of years, I'm actually joining you looking out of my office here at snow. That hasn't happened in a while. So it's great to be joining you on this snowy January morning. And today we're looking at is the topic of patience. And it's an interesting topic. It's one, again, like forgiveness, gratitude. I mean, there's a number of spiritual topics that we need to constantly be revisiting because we need these constant reminders. And one of them is patience. And I want to talk about that in light of this beautiful line. Again, we're going through Genesis and we're taking a look at some Christian New Church commentary on that in the book Secrets of Heaven. And this is the line we're looking at from Genesis 15. Do not be afraid. And this is God talking to Abram. Do not be afraid, Abram. I am a shield to you. We talked a bit about like anxiety and how anxiety can be its own battle, and how that makes it very significant that we work as best we can to not be afraid, that fear can be a real enemy. And I want to sort of continue on with that, which is we're asked to think of anxiety, that anxiety may be a temptation in and of itself, and that anxiety oftentimes in spiritual arenas is actually a symbol that something deeper is going on, that we have sort of a surface level anxiety. We want to do the best we can not to live in that place, and at the same time also recognizing that, yeah, there's anxiety in the world, and oftentimes, not all the time, oftentimes that anxiety actually comes from a good love we're feeling is attacked. Simple example: somebody you deeply love faces very serious surgery. As you're taking them to the hospital, you are going to feel anxious. Why? Because you have this deep love, and this deep love at that time feels like it's under attack, might not be the right word, but that it's threatened in some way, that it may be damaged in some way, that this is somebody who we just deeply care for, and we don't want to see them suffer or struggle in any way, shape, or form. It's a beautiful concept, and that idea, friends, that oftentimes with life we have to hold patience in that anxiety will come, et cetera, et cetera. And that anxiety maybe at times a symbol of good stuff that's going on in our life, because there's a good love in there that's being somehow challenged. And patience is all about like just staying with it. And that's very significant in terms of that we don't always see the answer immediately. Now, an interesting juxtaposition here is Schoenberg also offers the deeper a vision is, the fuller it is, the fuller this concept of God being with us is. So how do these two connect? Well, I can imagine that maybe what we're asked to think about here is we have a very deep vision of God, a very deep vision of life, that life may not always, well, it won't always go, the graph will not always go up and to the right. There are going to be challenges. And yet there's this depth and this richness of life that is somehow able to hold the whole thing. We're going to be talking a lot about that this coming Sunday, where we're going to look at a theme that life, again, with its losses, it's not necessarily every loss makes life better. I certainly would never say that, but we certainly can find our lives becoming a richer and richer experience of life over the years. I think that's very true. I definitely imagine all of us have seen that. And I think that's that fullness of vision. It's full. It's able to hold the whole thing. It's not just a vision that sort of like cherry picks, like, oh, this will be the one thing that makes me the happiest. And then we go down that route. I know for me, and I'm prone to this, right? Because we're in the middle of the NFL playoffs, and it's just in my head, I can really find myself momentarily, at least, buying into the belief that if such and such won, if such and such a team won, fill in the blank, that my life would be somehow better. Like just how crazy that is. It's just crazy and bizarre, and yet we can bind that. That's not a very rich and full vision of life. That's a very sort of like, this is what happiness is, this little box known as the NFL playoffs, which is nuts, just crazy. It's not the fullness of life. It's interesting, folks. One of my favorite stories with this, and those of you who've been around New Church Live no doubt have heard us share on this many times, is the idea of Noah's Ark. And when Noah's Ark finally comes to rest and the storm is over and the rainbow appears, the rainbow doesn't appear until the storm is over. And I think that's really significant. And we just see that physically. We can note if there's a storm going on. We never see the rainbows during the storm. We see the rainbows when the sun's behind us and the storm is passing away. That's an incredibly powerful image, physical image, I think, of what it's talking about here, and talking about the need for patience. Patience knows that we won't see it until later on, but it also has the faith that we will see it later on, that there will be a moment where when somehow I don't even want to say it all makes sense. I don't want to say that, but I use Richard Rohr's phrase here, where we just have a sense of, oh, it all belongs. Like somehow all these things are part of our life experience. There's things we move forward with, and that we can just have patience that God's at work and God is holding it. That allows a lot of room for hearts to break, which is actually, I think, can be a really good thing. It creates a lot of rooms for hearts to heal. It creates a lot of room for us to allow other people to be in other places and the processes they're in their life. And it just this deeper vision that holds it all is just a place where we'll find real patience, and we'll be able to understand that this anxiety we feel over this certain thing, that the one thing you can count on is you're not going to stay there, that it will change and it will shift over time, and it may not shift for a long time, but it will indeed shift given enough time. So I hope that makes sense, dear friends. And yeah, and just thinking about, like, a couple of things. May you have a day that has that fullness, that deep fullness of vision of life and how it works. May you have a day just where you find a bit of patience, just like, oh yeah, I may not see it today, I may not even see it tomorrow, but you will see it. I can tell you that you will see this place where, yeah, somehow in life, like, it all belongs. It's all part of our story. So that's the thought for today. Hope that makes sense. And what we're going to do now, dear friends, is we're going to shift gears. And the way we're gonna shift gears is this, friends, is we're gonna take a little breath, we're gonna do a little blessing, we'll do a little prayer, and then we'll say hi to folks on social media. So with that, friends, let's get a little breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, friends, let's say it's quick, cheery hello to folks. And again, I hope, oh, that's interesting. Just flashed my phone, said rainbow. That's good. All right, let's give a little cheery hello to folks as we enter into this week. All right, here we go. Marcus, good morning to you, and I hope you're doing well, buddy. Sherry writes, "Stay warm and safe," and it's kind of fun. And Jean says, "Good morning on this very cold, snowy day. Stay safe, everyone." And it's kind of fun, like hunkering down. I mean, it's not. Again, we used to live up in the Poconos, so the snow was rather different up there. But the snow here, we're just gonna hunker down today. So that's gonna be kind of fun. Snow day for the adults too, in a way. All right, let's say one more set of hellos here, friends. Okay, a couple more comments there. Kim, good morning to you, my friend. And Linda, good morning. And yes, the walk indeed was beautiful. I got out, got some beautiful pictures, and it just lots of memories about being a kid growing up in Western Pennsylvania and getting out in the morning to do all hunting, fishing kind of things, and as well doing some winter activities like trapping and just the beautiful quiet. Oh, I just love the quiet and the beauty of the snow. So hope you do as well. And friends, I just wish you all the very best. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow. And a final note about financial support of New Church Live. Like our content, it's funded by viewers like you. Please consider becoming a sustaining supporter of New Church Live today. Take care, friends. God bless, and we'll see you tomorrow.